Russia, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Iran.
On the sax, it's that revolution sound. Yeah, I love my neighbor, love our flavors, but I'm black and proud.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome. I got a very special guest with me today. Got my big brother from ATL by way of Jackson, Mississippi. Can't leave that out. My big brother, saxophonist Mike Burton. Welcome to the show, big brother.
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, thanks for joining me, man. I really appreciate you taking out the time. I know your schedule's busy. Although I think I caught you at a good time because it's holiday season now, so I think you're home with the fam, right?
No doubt.
All right, so we're gonna jump. I know that's right, man. So we're gonna jump right in, man. And I want the people to get to know who Mike Burton is, man. You know what I mean? So give the people a little background, where you from, you know, when you started, when you getting into music, and how did the saxophone become your choice of instrument, my brother?
Man, that's a lot of questions. Born and raised Jackson, Mississippi. Grew up, my mother is one of the founding members of the Mississippi Mass Choir. You know, I don't know if y'all know gospel music, but back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s, that was the choir in gospel music. She sang soprano. She still does. They still do shows from time to time. So as a kid, you know, 10, 11, 12 years old, growing up around that energy and just seeing that, seeing the late, great Frank Williams, who was a gospel legend. Actually, his kids are my god brother and god sister, man. So just growing up around that really inspired me to pursue the music. Also, being from Jackson, Mississippi, both my parents are alumni of Jackson State University. My mom went to Tougaloo College too, but Jackson State University. You know, historic, famous marching band, Sonic Boom of the South. You know, so where I'm from, that's a way of life, man. Like every Saturday, if they got a game in town in the fall, that's what we doing. The whole city is there, man. So as a kid, I grew up seeing the marching band. I wanted to be in the marching band, you know. So once I got old enough, got to middle school, it was called junior high back in the day. And,
you ain't that old, bro. You're not that old, right?
Okay, hey, 7th grade, it was junior high. They changed it to middle school when I went to 8th grade. See, I was part of the bridge, man. But
you're not that old, big brother.
Man,
Come on.
Yeah, so got into middle school, man. Actually, I wanted to play the drums at first, man. Mom and dad was like, there's too much noise in this house. You don't bring them drums in here. And my pops played saxophone back in high school and in college. And he encouraged me, as well as a few of my buddies were playing saxophone at the time, to go ahead and pick up the sax, man. And that's just what I did, just to be in the band, be in the marching band, not really to pursue it as a career or nothing like that. But so got into the band, at the same time, Mom was in the Mississippi Mass, watching all that stuff going on. And then when I got to high school, they put me in a performing arts program called APAC.
APAC, okay.
Yeah, Academic and Performing Arts Complex. It's part of my high school years, man. And when I got in there, I started learning about jazz. And shout out to Dr. Perry Combs, great teacher back in the day. Just exposed us to Charlie Parker and Dexter Gordon and a lot of the straight ahead jazz greats, man. And that's really when I started to see, just what I could do with the saxophone. Definitely not on the level of Charlie Parker, but definitely was inspired by by that brother.
Well, I beg to differ, my brother. I think you might be our modern day Charlie Parker, man, or you're on the way, bro.
That's blasphemy right there. Yeah. But I appreciate it, though.
It's all good. You and I had a discussion the other night. We were talking about, growing up in the South versus growing up here in the, in the North, right? Or DC, Baltimore, those areas. And I remember when I was coming up in school, my school was known for football, but it was also known for having a good band, right? And so there were few schools in the city that were known for having, good bands. But talk a little bit about, how you say, people say Texas is football, right? Mm-hmm. But down South, it seems like, because I lived in New Orleans for 5 years, it seems like down South is all about music. Talk about that a little bit. How does the music run in the veins of the folks down South?
Well, I'm from Mississippi, bro. I mean, that's the birthplace of the blues. First of all, blues is really the birthplace of all American music. If you want to get into the history of it, man, before jazz, before rock and roll, before all of that stuff was the blues, man. And that's where I'm from. So as a kid, I was growing up going to the blues festivals and folks out there frying the fish and. We're having a good time. Getting it in. You know what I'm saying? But also in the deep South, I know DC, y'all got Howard, Baltimore got Morgan State, but the HBCU culture, man, is such a part of the fabric of the deep South, man, and we are a proud people, man, you know what I'm saying? So in Jackson, you got Jackson State University, but in the state of Mississippi, you got Alcorn State, you got Mississippi Valley State, you got the smaller black college, you got Rusk College, Tougaloo College, you know what I'm saying? And but the marching band is such a big part of it, man. Like I said, to me, those were they were like celebrities when I was growing up. Just to go to the football game and see the cats in the band marching and dancing and doing their thing, man. So. That's just such a part of it growing up. Cats go to the games, you pull for the football team, but you're really going to see halftime. You're really going to see, You're really going to see what they call the fifth quarter. That's when the game is over, and then the bands. You got Jackson State and Southern University. They going back and forth, battling it out, man. So that's how I came up, man. That's so that's just in me. I didn't go to Jackson State, but I was raised around the school. Both my parents went there. Left to go to Indiana, man. But that's still a major part of who I am.
Let's stay in Indiana for a minute, because you had a life-changing moment that happened for you in Indiana. Is that correct? I think you met your significant other in Indiana. Is that where you met?
Most definitely, man. That's where I grew up, became a man, man.
That's right.
Met my wife, and she, started on a whole path, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. There you go. Hey, come on, man. Look at you with the high tech.
Hey, man, let's talk about your family. Let's talk about your wife. Let's talk about your 2 children, man. I mean, I know you've been quoted as being a daddy's girl. So let's talk about your wife first and foremost. She's doing big things. But talk about her as your support, right? As because as men, historically, we've always been the ones who go out and are the breadwinners. And the women have to normally, historically stayed at home and take care of the home. But today, women are wearing 2 and 3 hats, right? They're not just being the home providers, taking care of our children, raising our children, but they're also providing their support to us, so as men, so that we can continue to go out and earn that living. So talk about your wife, talk about how she has supported you through your career, and just your family a little bit.
No doubt. I mean, we met as kids. I mean, I met her. I'm 2 years older than her, so I was a junior when she got to Indiana, you know what I'm saying? And we were friends first. We were friends for a couple of years. We were in the same performing arts group called the Indiana Soul Review, IU Soul Review, which was a school ensemble that played, black popular music through the Motown era. from the Motown era through popular music today or at the time, And of course, she was singing, and I was in the horn section, and we hit it off, man. And a couple years down the road, we started dating, man. And a few years after that, we got married. I moved to Atlanta. She moved down to Atlanta, and we started a family, man. And she's always been so supportive. I can just, even just think now, man, just us, going to the movies or hanging out as kids in college, man, and just talking about hopes and dreams and what we gonna be doing when we this age, what we gonna be living, and you know what I'm saying. And she's always pushed me, man. Said, of course, first your mom and your dad, they give you that foundation, but it's definitely important for us when we get out into the world, man, to find that they call it your help meet. You know what I'm saying? To help.
That's right. Your best, or my father would say, your best friend.
Your best friend, most definitely. She is my best friend, man. You know what I'm saying? And we, I think we look out for each other. I can tell a story when I was trying to figure it out as a musician. This is probably, I don't know, man, 16 years ago. I was, much younger. I hadn't been in Atlanta too long. Was, trying to figure out the music thing. And I got offered a teaching position at this college, man. And entry level position, but I would have had to move from Atlanta. I'd only been in Atlanta maybe like 2 years, and even in them 2 years, I was on the road a lot, so I hadn't been really here to lay that foundation of what I was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And they offered me this job. I would have been like associate professor or something, working with the marching band and the woodwinds and stuff. And she was like, "You're not trying to leave, because I was like, I can go down here and I can commute and I can do this. We can still try to figure this thing."
They don't want to hear that, bro.
No, you don't want to do that. You just cop, like you told me your dreams and you want to travel and you want to make records and go on tour and do this and that. That's what you want to do. And Doc, I turned that down. We got engaged maybe a few weeks after that, and 2 weeks later.
That's right.
2 weeks later, man, I'm at a jam session for my birthday. I was hanging out for my birthday, man, and I run into the guy who was Tyler Perry's music director at the time.
Wow.
Still is, actually. And he told me that he was looking for me to be an extra in this movie. So I said, cool. So he's like, this was a Sunday night. Never forget it. Sunday night. He said, come down to the set. Somebody's going to call you tomorrow to get your sizes and everything. Come down to the set, do your thing. So I go home. Sure enough, Monday morning, I get a phone call from these folks to go down there. Tuesday, I'm on set, Medea's Family Reunion, the movie. This is Tyler's second movie he ever did, and I'm just up there with the band. We bopping around playing this little
wow
scene. And I was very ambitious, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just got engaged. I'm trying to figure this life thing out, and in between gigs, I'm like, yo, I heard y'all was going out with this play. Do you need anybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm available, you know what I'm saying? And
that's right. Closed mouth don't get fed. Closed mouth
don't get fed, man. So the cat was like, the music director was like, hold up, man, you play keys? And I was like, I play keys a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Which I do, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't no virtuoso, but I can hold down some auxiliary stuff, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, give me a second. Because the whole day we jamming between takes, and Tyler was digging what the band was doing and whatnot. He goes over there, says something to Tyler Perry, man. Comes back a few minutes later, he's like, yeah, so Tyler's cool with it. You got the gig, man. We're going on the road like such and such in a couple of weeks, and it was like that. And if I had taken that gig to go teach at that school, which I'm not knocking any of that, but I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to, at least give it a shot, you know what I'm saying, of being a professional musician, man, and not just, saying I'm gonna go ahead and teach and I'm gonna just, put that on the back burner. So, and it worked out. I was in that camp for 10 plus years, man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying, and was really amazing. So she definitely has been a rock. You know what I'm saying, and somebody I can lean on and bounce ideas off of, and vice versa, man. She stepped out on faith probably 10 years ago. She was a social worker.
Okay.
And she went to school for music. That's how we met. She was a music major. She changed her major to family therapy.
Okay.
To be like, so she finished school. She was a social worker working.
Now, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Indiana's one of the top music schools in the country. Yeah.
What instrument was Roz playing?
Voice.
I didn't know.
Voice.
Oh, singing. Yeah. She does sing. She does. That's for the girls. Yeah.
So she went into family therapy, man, and we got down here in Atlanta, and we started having kids, man, and it was just a very very heavy job, man. Like a lot to take home. She was dealing with the group homes and a lot of at-risk kids. And when you're trying to raise your own kids, I guess it was just a lot on her to bring home and then try to feed into her own, children, man. So she was like, I gotta do something else, man. She kept saying, I'm seeing myself in the chef coat. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm like, and I'm like, what?
She was
You know what
speaking
I'm saying?
into existence, my brother.
Yes, but seriously, man. And so she been doing her thing, man, ever since. I was like, at the time I was working with Tyler, man, I would say, my wife is doing catering. Can y'all look out, because we always had caterers, for rehearsals and stuff. Man, she got in there. One of her first gigs was Tyler Perry Productions, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And she got in there and killed it, bro. And she been rolling ever since. She doing her own thing, bro. Like she got it going on. Y'all check her out. Fuller Food.
We go.
Chef Razia Sabur.
We're gonna definitely give her a shout out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna let people know where to find her. And just so y'all know, we got a surprise because Chef Roz is gonna join us on the show next week, God willing. So I can't wait for that. That's gonna be exciting. But definitely check her out. Full of Foods, Chef Roz. She was a recipient of the 2019 the Culinary Arts Award in Atlanta in 2019. So she's definitely doing big things down there, man. Let's stay a little bit on your family and let's talk about your girls, right? You being a daddy's girl. Are your children into music? Do they play instruments? And if so, what do you think they they're trying to follow in daddy's footsteps or what?
Oh, hold on, my fingers went out.
Oh, your camera went out.
Sure did. There you go. Hey, I'm back. All right, cool.
There you go.
Yeah, man, they are both extremely talented, and I'm not just saying that because I'm their daddy. Look, see, that's Layla. That's the oldest. She's 12. She'll be 13 in February. Y'all pray for me. She's about to be a teenager.
You got your guns, bro. You got your guns.
I got one.
I got one for you if you need it, bro.
Yeah, God bless you. I know she got a lot of uncles and cousins out here that's looking out. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
They're super talented, man. They both sing, act. Layla, the oldest, she's in chorus and band. They've done a lot of, musicals. We have them in theater programs. So yeah, Kaden, she's a great singer, man. They both are so animated and can act and they can dance and they both can cook. They hang around mommy, so mommy's showing them the ropes already. At 10 and 12, they can get in the kitchen and throw down already too, man. So sky's the limit, man. I'm definitely not trying to Joe Jackson them and push it on them like that. I just, really just lead by example, man. Just, I think with me and my wife, they just see parents who doing something they love. And, it's not, that's really what I stress to them, like just find what your passion is and go towards that. I mean, doors will open up, but, have fun, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now let's stay a little bit because you talked about how you and your wife met. And, we talked and as you were talking, I was just listening and, I worked in film myself for 5 years down in New Orleans. And everyone always asks, how did you get into film? Right. Mm-hmm. And so I always say my answer is always, you never know where God is going to place you. Right. And when he opens those doors of opportunity, you just got to be willing to step in. And listening to you talk about how you ended up not only playing, in the bands that travel with Tyler Perry, but how you actually got that start by asking questions, being inquisitive, right? And so talk a little bit about some of the folks that you've worked with, because you work with folks from Tyler Perry, you worked with Patti LaBelle, you've been with Jill Scott. Talk about that a little bit. Like, what's that like being on the road with so many big name stars, and how do you keep yourself kind of even keeled or humble?
Well, first, being humble part, I mean, that's how my folks raised me, man. I mean, even when I was, in high school and I thought I was doing something, playing the hymns at church, doing the offering, and the folks at church be, giving me applause and, patting me on the back. And my pops would always be like, son, remain humble, always stay humble. And that's, that's kind of where I come from in the first place. My parents, super humble people, man, good people. So that's just how I was raised. So I think I don't ever have to worry about, feeling myself too much, you know what I'm saying? Think I'm doing this and that, and I really think that's what carries you in this entertainment industry too, man. I mean, as far as being a working musician, man. Each gig leads to the next gig. You know what I'm saying? I've like you said, I've toured with Jill Scott, Miss Patti LaBelle, Anita Baker, worked for Tyler Perry for several years. A lot of stuff in television as far as award shows and TV shows, working with the great Adam Blackstone and Daniel Moore and the late Big Jim Wright. You know what I'm saying? So, but all of that, each gig has led to the next gig. You know, it's not just that Mike can play, he's a good musician, but he carries himself well, he's on time, he knows his music. The hang is cool, you know, try to be funny if I can, crack some jokes, you know what I'm saying? That's really a lot of it, especially when you're on tour, man. The show might last, you know, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. And
Okay.
if you want to tour with somebody for 3 months, you on the road all summer, I mean, you got 23 more hours of the day to hang with these people, and they get, you know,
That's right.
folks got to like you know what I'm saying?
They,
So,
they become your family.
yes, it's definitely family. Each tour
Yeah.
I've done over the years, I'm still cool with everybody. You know, we keep in touch.
Good.
You know, send out messages, holidays, and all that kind of stuff, man. So, you know, that's really a lot of it, man.
Now you have a big heart, man, and you I see you participate in a lot of social issues, man. You know, what's going on in the world today, what we saw happen the other day here in DC, but not just here in DC. It happened, a lot of people don't know, it happened in a lot of different states, you know, around the country.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about that. How did that make you feel, you know, watching that play out on television? You know, and just talk about that a little bit.
Honestly, man, watching on television, I was pissed, man. You know, just knowing, you know, what we've been through as black people in this country, you know, and to see, you know, I guess the media or even those who were out there rioting or whatever they were doing, trying to compare it to Black Lives Matter or, you know, civil rights movement or folks protesting peacefully. It's not the same thing, man. It was definitely, you know, and another example of white privilege and white supremacy in America, man. So, you know, we just got to keep fighting a good fight, man. Try, you know, hold folks accountable. I think, you know, down here in Georgia, we definitely did our part. You know, we flipped the state, you know, for Biden and for Warnock and Ossoff, man. So
Turned it blue, baby. Not even ruby red, blue, baby.
you know what I'm saying? So you know, we just gotta stay the course, man. You know, keep your head on the swivel because people crazy out here.
That's
you
right.
know, but yeah, we gonna be all right though, man. You know, we've been through worse. You know, we are resilient. We are powerful people, and just keep on pushing.
I got two questions from the chat room. One question is, if you had not pursued music, what would have been your what career would you have pursued?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, probably since I was 16, I was like, I'm gonna be a musician, you know. But before that, my father is worked in politics his whole life. He was the first black city administrator of Jackson, Mississippi. He was PhD, professor at Jackson State, associate dean. So I probably would have followed in his footsteps, man. He was a history major. I love history. So probably something along those lines, you know what I'm saying? Going to government, something like that.
Same young lady wants to know, you know.
What's up, Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel, our girl Rachel
sister,
Arrington.
yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Rachel. So she said, who would you like to work with musically that you have not already worked with?
Man, D'Angelo. He's probably one of my favorite artists, man. You know, that's still with us. You know, I've worked with a lot of folks over the years, a lot of my favorites, but D'Angelo probably one of my biggest influences, man. So if he ever decides to get back on the road or record another record, I would love to get that phone call, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now talk a little bit about how you feel music, because again we touched on you know how you know you don't just talk about social issues, but you speak out on them, right? How does music play a role in healing the world or bringing our society back together so that we can, you know, decompress a little bit and begin to show some of this love that we need to start showing?
Music is powerful, man. I think the moment, you know, when we're old enough or we are wise enough to know the power that music has as artists, then it's our responsibility, it's our duty to speak to the times, to speak to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of my favorite music is the music of the late 60s, early 70s. Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway, Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder from that era. You know, they were really like, you know, Vietnam was happening, the civil rights movement was going on, and cats were putting that stuff in their music, man. You know, and I really think we are at that time again, you know, as far as, so it's up to us. I mean, I ain't got no problem with, you know, with the young cats, you know, the music they doing, man, but, you know, it ain't gotta all be twerking and trapping and that's cool. I mean, I was a kid. I was listening to NWA. I was listening to Too Short and this and that. What you know what I'm saying? But it's like when you are of an age and you see the people listening to your music, man, we got to say something. We have to make some kind of conscious effort to change what's going on. And I feel like this is the way that I can do that. You know what I'm saying?
So you definitely feel like musicians, entertainers have a responsibility for the messages they're putting out through their music, for sure.
Most definitely. And bro, like I've played in festivals when it's like, almost 100,000 people in the audience, man. You know what I'm saying? And everybody just looking at the artist on stage, mesmerized, bro. Like, could you imagine if you had something positive to say, if you had something uplifting, if you had something encouraging to say to these people, man, as opposed to, something negative? I mean, like, that's our duty, man. That's our job, because it can change the world, bro. I've seen it,
Got another question from you, Mr. Dietrich Jones II. He wants to know how you staying occupied during this quarantine.
Man, just trying to keep creating content, man. Trying to invest in myself, and also I'm a family man, so spending a lot of time with the wife and kids, man. But in my free time, I'm down here in my lab, man, writing, producing, composing. Working a lot with the horn section with my guys, Good Times Horns, Melvin Jones, Wilbur Williams. Shout out to those brothers. We stay busy every week playing on somebody's record or playing something, So that's it, man. Not trying to be, Debbie Downer and like, woe is me, the touring has stopped and what's going on.
That's right.
You better
gotta
stay
keep
busy,
it moving.
man.
Gotta keep it busy, baby.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, man. So I'm just, look, we're gonna keep writing songs, putting out music, man, and working on other folks' projects, doing collaborations and staying busy, man.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier about everyone who you've collaborated with. Mm-hmm. What is the next phase in Mike Burton's career as an artist?
Just trying to do more with Mike Burton. I mean, keep doing what I've been doing, keep working with the horn section, keep working on various shows, and working with, when the touring becomes a thing again, go back on the road with Miss Patty and, whoever else, but also continue just to do me. I mean, there's really no master plan. Is just keep doing what I'm doing, but just do it bigger and better, man. Continue to invest in myself, invest in my family, and that's it, man.
All right. Got another question for you from the chat from Miss Tamika Baylor. She wants to know, what's your favorite Pandora station?
Man, that's a good one. Favorite Pandora station.
I didn't know Pandora had many stations that you can choose from now. I
they
wonder
got tons of them.
About,
and honestly, my wife is on Pandora. I'm more about Apple Music, so it's just
okay.
Dude, I'm all over the place. I might be listening to the Beatles, this minute. I might be checking out some. I like Sir, this new cat, Sir. I might listen to some Tribe. I'm listening to some Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
I'm
whatever you want to move for.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know if I have a favorite. It's just I might listen to some classical music, listen to Debussy or something one day, and I don't know. I'm all over the place, man. So but I think as an artist, we gotta be chameleons and check it all out.
I saw a post that you posted one time, and you said, "I'm an art," and it reminded me of the Erykah Badu quote, and I believe that's what it was. I'm an artist, and I'm sensitive about my beep. But talk about that a little bit, man. How sensitive are you about your music, man?
Very. Man, look, I still get nervous, bro. I've been doing this forever, and I still get super nervous about putting out new music, about getting on stage, about singing and playing, whatever. I mean, I'm confident that I'm doing, I'm good at what I'm doing. But I think, but even I tell my kids, they get nervous. I'm like, I think that nervous energy is what pushes you and what makes you even be a better performer. I think if you get complacent and like, I'm supposed to be doing this and I'm here, whatever. I don't know. I think God can take those things away from you. It's still exciting to me. I still care. I think the nervousness is that I care what the crowd thinks, what the listeners think. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I even posted a video today of me doing one of my original joints, and I'm asking my wife, I'm like, should I post this? You know what I'm saying? She's like, yeah,
is she like your biggest critic?
It's great. I'm like, oh, okay. And so I posted. Then I get all this good feedback. I'm like, well, she was right. You know what I'm saying? So it's even good to just have her to bounce stuff off of. Man,
That's right. That's right. Yeah. You got to listen to your better half, man. You
got to do it.
Ask Barack Obama. He'll tell you.
Oh, no doubt.
We all need a Michelle in our life, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, man, I saw a picture of you, man, and it reminded me of me working in the film industry. Talk to me a little bit about this picture, man.
You already know you got your credentials. Well, look, so a good buddy of mine, Ronnie Garrett. Shout out to Ronnie Garrett. Ronnie is actually the brother who I said was looking for me to be an extra in Tyler's movie 16 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And he started this thing called the Tour Life Show. I think is what it's called. They got an Instagram page, and they've been interviewing various, working musicians who've been, around the world doing this for years, man. And then they put up a post basically saying, they called them your trophies. They said, show your trophies. And,
Okay.
So, they said basically they'll call your trophies your laminates, your credentials that you've gotten from years and years of touring.
Trust me, I know.
You know what it is. So
Yeah.
I just took that picture for that, man, and they reposted it. And shout out to Justin Gilbert, who also works on the show. And they've had a lot of my buddies, be guests on the show, man. Maybe I'll get called to be on there one of these days. But
you'll get called back, baby. They always call you back. You know, like I know, when you do certain shows year in and year out, right? Like you've done Soul Train, you've done BET, right? You've been in the Masked Singer, right? You've done I saw even you've done even a score for the news, the local news, right? So, but certain shows that you go on, like I work on the Mark Twain Awards every year.
Wow,
and every year,
okay, that's what's up.
It's the same people every year. My last time we worked was when they honored Dave Chappelle, and that was
So that was my homies, Adam Blackstone, and that was the band.
See, I met all of them. Man. I was sitting back with all of them, man. Yeah. So they the good guys, man. Dave is a great guy, man. Donnell Rollins showed out, but
Ashley Larry.
Ashley Larry.
Right.
But it was exciting, man. And people don't understand when you see a picture like that with all those badges. Without that, you're not getting in the building or out the building.
You ain't getting man. Look, I've been on tours, man. So what is it was the Kodak in LA. It's called something else now, but it was the Kodak, which is where they had the Oscars and stuff. So I played there, and Radio City Music Hall. That's another one in New York. So like I got my tour badge on, but they give you a separate badge to play, in this theater. And if you ain't got that on, they don't care nothing about your tour badge. Like, nah, bruh, you got to call somebody. You got to get the police to come get you in. Like, nah, bro, I'm playing the show. Like, I'm the saxophone player. Like, nah,
that's right.
I don't care nothing about that.
Don't go on, man.
They're like, yeah, whatever. They'll be all right. They'll find another saxophone player.
Hey, man. Hey, I know that's right. Hey, talk to me a little bit about, working with all the folks that you've worked with, right? You told us who you want to work with and who you haven't worked with, which is D'Angelo. Yeah. But who was the person that you found out you were going to be working with and you couldn't sleep at night?
Man, that's been a lot of them. Anita Baker for sure. Jill Scott. Man, the Jill Scott story. So I was working. I ain't gonna say the name. I was working on this one tour, and they got rid of the whole band. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife was pregnant with Layla. And,
wow.
I'm like, man, what am I? What I'm about to do? Like this is inside information, like real musician stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
y'all need to do a reality show.
You know
man.
what I'm saying? Like you think you did this 2 years of this tour and whatever, and it's never gonna stop. So the artist is like, nah, I'm good. I want a whole new band. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold up. My wife is 7 months pregnant. I just bought this house. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So maybe like a month or two before all this happens, I had got called by my brother Lil John Roberts. Shout out to Lil John Roberts, great drummer. He called me to go up to Charlotte, North Carolina with him to sit in with Jeff Bradshaw, this trombone player.
Okay.
And Jeff is, very big in the whole neo soul scene. He's a great solo artist in his own right. But at the time he had worked with Jill since the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I went up to play with him. We hit it off, learned his music, had a good time, cracking jokes and whatever. So Christmas time comes around. I had just lost my gig. He calls me on Christmas.
Right before Christmas,
bro. It was like Thanksgiving. So he calls me Christmas, like, man, what's up, Mike? Merry Christmas, bro. Just called and said Merry Christmas. What's up? I was like, funny you called, bro. Merry Christmas. But if you know anybody looking for a sax player,
let me know.
I'm available. He says,
did you have your sign around your neck?
Man, look, no, this cat, he's like, it's funny you should say that. Jill's saxophone player, he don't want to go on the road anymore. He's basically want to stay at the house. Do you play tenor? Like, yeah, I play tenor. Do you play EWI? I say EWI it's an electric wind instrument. I ain't even own an
Okay.
EWI at the time, bro.
But you told him, yeah.
I said, yeah, I play one. I went down to Sam Ash, bought me Guitar Center, bought me an EWI, whatever. And he said, you play flute? Yeah, I play flute. You know, I got in here, shared my
Wow.
little flute part. Dude,
Oh,
2 weeks later, I'm in Philly rehearsing with Jill Scott, man. I'm in there like, and she got
wow.
some hard music, bro. I mean, you know, and she
Okay.
is a great artist, man. Like, she don't play about her music. So, you know, very nervous to be there. But, you know, that was 2008, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I worked with her 11 years, you know what I'm saying? On and off. And just a
Mhm.
great relationship, great people, man. Jeff's a great guy. Shout out to Lil John. And,
That's right.
you know, God, you know, always opens doors, man. You think one door
That's
is
right.
closing, but I think as long as you do right by your family, man, you got your priorities together,
That's right.
and you working hard towards your goal, doing what you supposed to be doing for your craft,
That's right.
doors are open up, man. You know
Doors
what I'm
open
saying?
up.
And
Doors open up.
that's been the story of my life, bro. Even in this pandemic, we ain't losing, man. You know,
That's
God
right.
got
We
us, man.
winning, man.
We
God got us. I
winning.
always tell people, man, every day above ground is a good day. Everything else is extra, man. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
bro. Turn the
Everything else
news
is
off,
extra,
man.
man.
Turn the
Yeah.
news off and focus on what's real and what's good, man. You know, you're
That's
gonna
right.
be all right.
That's right. Stop
You
being
know.
depressed. The news is what's depressing you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Giving you
Get out and
all
live,
that
man.
garbage. Yeah.
Get out and
Yeah.
live your life, bro. No doubt.
Now, what would your advice be to any young men or women who play instruments now, right, and whose goal is to, you know, be in a position that Mike Burton is in today? You know, what was some of your give me 3 or 4 pieces of advice that you would give them that this is something like a Bible they need to carry around with them?
One, practice, you know, work on your craft, man. You know, get great, get good. Like work at it every day. You know, that's first and foremost. You gotta be ready for those calls, you know, in the first place. You can't get a call and then you haven't worked on your craft. You can't even play the instrument, or you can't sing the parts, or you can't do this and that. So practice, practice, practice. Lay the groundwork first and foremost. After that, you know, if you have a goal, you know what you want to do. Don't give up. You know, that's the main thing, bro. Like, you know,
Mhm.
be persistent, be consistent. Don't listen to the naysayers. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going. You know, especially if you in the arts, because the way America is set up, you know, not America, but the world in general, like most people are gonna go for the sure shot. You know, like even where I'm
Mhm.
from, you go to school, get you a good job, get you some benefits, and you ride
Mhm.
off in the sunset. But you know, they don't
I
really,
call it the easy route out.
you know, I mean, and I ain't knocking nobody that does that. That's great, but that ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
if you really are a dreamer and you passionate about this art, do it. You know what I'm saying? And don't, you know, I think a lot of times cats have that plan B. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, and a lot of times you got that plan B that's something to fall back on. You ain't never gonna do the real thing that you really want to do. You're gonna, cause it's never gonna happen. Cause you are gonna say, well, man, I gotta go do this thing. I gotta go do this thing. You're never gonna put 100% into your craft. And it's not.
Okay.
I mean, it happens every now and then for people, but for the most part, people that actually make it, they all about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's right.
that's
They
it.
eat, sleep, and dream it.
Eat,
They eat,
sleep,
sleep,
and
and dream
that's it, bro. You know, like I said, since
it.
I was in high school, that's all I wanted to do, man. You know,
Yeah, I got a
I can
buddy,
see
man,
it.
who was a pimp, and he told me, he said a pimp don't do nothing but rest, dress, and impress. And so when I hear you talk about, you know, the advice you giving to young men and young women who play any instruments and who want to, you know, be in a position that you in someday, don't listen to Allen Iverson when we talking about practice. No, you
Yeah,
need to
you
practice,
need to practice.
right? You need to practice.
Even the pimp, what's the pimp? A hustler. You know what I'm saying? I
That's
mean,
right. That's right.
that's what we are as artists. We out here hustling. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Like
That's
you're
right.
not just you can't get complacent and say I'm just cool. I got this one gig. I'm straight. No, man. Streams of income. Like hustle. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Do
right.
your own thing. Work with this artist. Work with that artist. Write, produce, compose. You know, teach if you need to, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
right. That's right.
if you really about it, be about it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And those
Hmm.
doors will open up. So that's, you know, that's it. And have you a support system, man. If you are the the person in your circle, the only person in your circle that's a go-getter, that's a dreamer, you know, you might need a new circle. If everybody in your circle is like, oh man, that's whack. You can't do that, bro.
Hmm.
You terrible. You
Hmm.
this, you that. Man, you
Hmm.
need to don't hang around people like that. You know what I'm saying? Hang
What they
around
say? What
people
they
that
say? Your network is your net worth, right?
no, that's real, man. That's real, bro. You know, and
Hmm.
I've seen. I
Hmm.
mean, in the cats I've been in Atlanta for 18 years, and I still work with the same cats I've been with pretty much since I've been here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Like my wife said, move where the industry is. If you sitting at home like thinking you're gonna be a YouTube star, or ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you want to be an actor, go to LA, go to New York, go to Atlanta. If you want to be in music, go to one of these places. If you know what I'm saying, like if I want to work in the tech world, then I'll probably go to the Bay Area, Silicon Valley or something. Give me an internship at Google or Apple or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you got to go where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
And I have an uncle who always says this famous quote: "If you want to catch a marlin, you got to go where the marlins are." Right. And so that's exactly what your wife is saying. Move where the industry is, right?
Yeah.
And be bold. I would add another one. Be bold, right? Because you never know. You never know, man. Just by how many people have you met, right? Or how many people can you count on your hand that you say, wow, if it wasn't for this person, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for that person, I wouldn't have met this person. You know what I mean? So you never know who God is going to put in your life. And you just have to be prepared and be ready, man. And so, I really appreciate that advice that you're giving the young cats out here, man, because, they need to hear it from somebody that's in the business, right? And know that it's not all roses all the time, right?
Hey, look here, and always put your best foot forward, man. You never know who's in the room. You know what I'm saying? You got cats, even cats that's been on major tours. They did this big tour with whatever this big pop artist is. Okay, the tour is over. They think they did something. Now they get called for a little local gig. They late. They don't know the music. They, what I'm saying? They in there half-assing on the gig. Sorry, pardon my French. You know what I'm saying? But like that. So now you might be closing doors for other opportunities because you think you've arrived or whatever. But if you took the gig, play the gig. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you ain't want to do it, don't do it. And that's with any job. You know what I'm saying? Like you in there complaining, oh, the boss did this today. I hate this cubicle. I hate this and that. Well, look, you shouldn't quit the job then. Do what you really want to do then. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't be complaining.
Right.
If you ain't the boss, shut up.
That's right. That's right. What advice would you give folks who are already, say, struggling in the business and struggling to find a balance between, say, family and the music? What kind of advice would you give folks like that?
Struggling to find a balance between family and the music. Man, look, I think if you do right by your family, this stuff, all that's gonna come to you, man. I mean, I'm a man of faith, man. I think God will bless you. Real talk. I think stuff will fall into place. I mean, some people say, they might say, "Oh, you a dreamer, you a whatever hippie, whatever." You know what I'm saying? But stay. I'm reading the things. I'm kind of getting thrown off now. But,
I'm sorry.
Good,
I just want you to see, man, your people, man, that love you, man, and how they support you.
What up, brother? That's a talented young brother right there, Dietrich Jones. Shout out to Dietrich, man. Great young sax player. Yeah. That's what's
up. So, another question that I wanted to ask you, we were talking again last night, and we were talking about some of the issues that was going on in the world. We were talking about that. We were talking about how music can be a healing for that, right? When did you take a break from the music?
I mean, to me, music is like breathing. I don't take a break.
That's what's up.
Even if I'm not down here recording, I'm still, writing in my head, thinking something, or I don't know. I mean, it's just in me. I'm listening. Even if I'm not practicing, I'm in the car listening to something to give me some inspiration. You know what I'm saying? But it's no break. I mean, definitely it's a break from the road. It's a break from playing the show. But I'm a musician. That's who I am. I think that's who God made me to be. I really think I'm walking in my purpose, man. So. That's it, Now
let me ask you this, because you were raised in a church, and so gospel is kind of your background, right? What other instruments do you play other than the saxophone?
I mean, I play at a few things. I play keys. I write at the keyboard. That's how I compose my music is at the keys. I play keys on a few tours, auxiliary stuff. I play a little flute. Play drums a little bit, but that's about it, man. I try to sing a little bit, you know what I'm saying, but that's probably it, and I do production, so I sequence drums, drum programming, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, I told you we need to get together because I'm working on some film projects, man. So I need some scores, man.
Send it on, man. Send it to me, Doc. Let's work. Let's make this money.
Yeah. I need some scores, man. I'm trying to do a doc on the family, man. So definitely want to do some scores and get with you and sit down with you, man, and chop it up, man, and have you go through the film, man, and score it for me, man. God willing,
Yeah, that would be awesome, man.
Man, that's what's up. So your wife says you do find time to balance between music and family. So, you got to find that balance, man. It's important. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
She always says,
you got to, what's she say now?
Find someone who believes in you and encourages you
There you
towards your
go.
dream.
Find you a helpmeet, like I said earlier. Yeah, that's so important. That's
That's
so
right.
important. Yeah.
That's right.
For
That's right.
men
A
and
help.
women, you got to push each other, man. You can't just be me, me, me. You got to just give and take. It's compromise. So.
But see, you lucky though, man, because you get to go out on the road and go on tour, man. And then when you come back, man, you got a chef you live with, bro.
This is true. This is true.
I'm jealous,
I
man.
can't. I'm blessed. I can't argue with this. This is true. Facts. What they say, facts.
Facts. Facts, man. Facts. So let me ask you this. Which one of your daughters is more into music and which one is more into singing? Or is it both?
They both are. I mean, Doc, I can't wait to see what they will become, whether they do music or not. But I mean, just hearing riffing and running around the house when I'm not even paying attention, they just singing in their rooms or sitting down here playing on the piano, recording themselves, doing their little, videos or whatever. I mean, like I'm inspired. You know what I'm saying? So, Doc, I'm excited to see what they will become, who they will be, bro. Because the sky's the limit for those two.
Yeah, I saw a video of you and your daughter rehearsing together. What was that like for her anyway?
It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I try to get out the way. Like I said, I don't want to push it on them like that. You know what I'm saying? But they want it. They want to do these things, man. So they're asking me questions, and so it's just beautiful, man. And I enjoy being mentors to young people in general. So to have my own kids want to know what I think is priceless, man.
Let's tell the people where they can find you, find your music. I want people to be able to support your music and to be able to find you on social media, to follow you, man. Follow a lot of the great things that you're doing. So where can people find your music?
You can find me at any all digital platforms. So that's Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Google Play. My website is MikeBurtonMusic.com. That's Mike, M-I-K-E, Burton, B-U-R-T-O-N, music.com. Yeah, just Google me. My Instagram is at MikeBurton06. Twitter is at Mike Burton. Facebook, same thing, Mike Burton06. I'm out there, man. You good, bro?
I'm good, bro. I just wanted to. I'm typing in your site, man. I want people to know where to go find you and support
that's
your
my
music,
email
man.
address. No,
that's your
don't
email.
Put that in there. Yeah,
Listen,
no.
Okay, that's your email. We don't want that because we don't want the wifey to say who is emailing you, and you're gonna have to give her the
yeah. Let's not put the email up there.
You're gonna have to give her the State Farm.
MikeBurtonMusic.com.
Okay, MikeBurtonMusic.com. Okay.
Yes, sir. There we go.
There we go. MikeBurtonMusic.com. So y'all go out and support my brother. I want to thank you, man, for coming on the show, man, and spending an hour with me, man. We've been on about an hour, man. I just want to thank you. It's been a joy, man. It's been, like I told you in the beginning, I didn't want it to be an interview. I just wanted to be a conversation, man, between two brothers, because you are my brother. You're my family. I love you, man. And I'm catching up on your music, bro. So I done listened to 3 albums. So I got a lot more to do, man, because you got so many artists that you've worked with, man. But you've given me a new insight, man, and a new appreciation. Real talk, man, for jazz music, for musicians in general, man. And I want to thank you for that, man. And, just encourage you to keep doing great things. I know God has great things in store for you, man, in the new year, man. That's what I wanted to ask you. What is Mike Burton's 2021 resolution?
2021 resolution. Do more. All across the board, man. Be more as far as my music, my own music, do more with that. You know what I'm saying? Do more with the family, do more be more socially conscious as far as what's going on in the community, active and supportive of others in my community, man, and just do more, man.
Now I'm not gonna put it out there, but I joked with you about this a little earlier, so I ain't got no videos, so you ain't gotta worry about me posting that. But I hear you sing too.
Hey, I mean, if you download the music, especially my last record, I'm singing all over the record. So that's look, do it. I mean, that really came about, man. I've been messing around singing for years, man. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me just trying to reach out to people and be like, yo, I want to collab, do this and that. And some folks be like, well, I gotta do this. They not getting back to me, in a timely fashion. I'm like, look, I'm gonna just do it myself, man. And that's really where it came from. You know what I'm saying? Just
see how your wife look out for you. See how you look. See how she take care of you, bro.
See, there it is. See, that's what I'm talking about, fellas.
You gotta get you one. You gotta get you one. You better get you a Michelle Obama, man. No matter of fact, get you an original, because you can't have Razia Sabor.
No, you can't have her. It's gonna be a problem. But
that's gonna be major problems, they say. Yeah. Facts. Yes. Well, again, man, thank you for joining me today, big brother. It has been an absolute pleasure, man. Again, go and support my brother Mike Burton at MikeBurtonMusic.com. You can listen to his music on Apple Play Music, on Spotify. I'm sure he's on YouTube as well. So check him out, man. MikeBurtonMusic.com. Straight out of Atlanta, GA, man, by way of Jackson, Mississippi. Thank you for joining me, big brother. You have a great new year, man, and continue doing great things, man. Thank you for joining me, big brother.
You too, bro. Thanks for having me, man. God bless you, man. Yeah, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. I'm going to take y'all out, man, with some more music from my brother Mike Burton, man. Thank you all for joining us today on Let's Talk Straight podcast, hosted by yours truly, Abdul Malik Fuller. So thank you all. See you all on the next show. We got great show coming up for you next week. We got a good surprise. Chef Razia Sabor will be in the house sharing some of her good cooking secrets and tips for us. So be on the lookout for that, man. And again, thank you all for joining us. You all have a good night. God bless.
Everybody just pray for Russia, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Iran.
On the sax, it's that revolution sound. Yeah, I love my neighbor, love our flavors, but I'm black and proud.